Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so have you ever hit the end of a ridiculously long workday, looked back and realized you got absolutely nothing of real substance done? Yeah, you are definitely not alone there. Today, we're diving into the source material behind a truly game-changing concept called deep work. We're going to unpack exactly why your ability to concentrate is, without a doubt, the most valuable currency in today's economy. Here is our agenda for today. We'll be hitting 1. Defining deep work. 2. The deep work advantage. 3. Training your brain. 4. Changing your habits. And 5. A meaningful life. Starting right off with Section 1, Defining Deep Work. So deep work isn't just about, working hard. It actually has a very specific, almost clinical definition. It's professional activities performed in a state of completely distraction-free concentration. Notice how it specifically requires pushing your cognitive limits. Because you're operating at absolute maximum capacity, these efforts create brand new value, they rapidly improve your skills, and most importantly, the results are incredibly hard to replicate. It fundamentally requires long, unbroken periods of thinking. And honestly, it's not easy, but the payoff, it's massive. Now, we really have to contrast this with its exact opposite, shallow work. This is what happens when we just default to whatever is easiest. It requires the absolute least amount of concentration. The trap here is that in the modern workplace, mere busyness is often mistaken for actual productivity, which is completely inaccurate. It's kind of like frantically firing off emails or just running on the endless hamster wheel of Slack messages to feel productive without actually moving the needle one bit. Which brings us to a fascinating central hypothesis from the text. The ability to perform deep work is becoming increasingly rare at the exact same time it's becoming increasingly valuable. Think about that for a second. The takeaway for you is pretty clear. If you can cultivate this rare skill and make it the absolute core of your working life, you will thrive while everyone else just kind of falls behind. Moving into Section 2, the deep work advantage. Let's look at the massive economic forces colliding right now. We have rapid technology changes happening right alongside global outsourcing. And this is creating a massive divide between two groups of people, those whose jobs can easily be automated or outsourced, and those with truly irreplaceable skills. To prosper and avoid being left behind in this new economy, you need to learn how to do two things exceptionally well. First, quickly master hard challenges, and second, produce high-quality work fast. Both of those essential abilities depend entirely on your capacity for deep work. So, if it's so valuable, why is it so extremely rare? Well, just think about your own office for a minute. We are constantly surrounded by open-plan spaces, instant messaging pinging all day, and just back-to-back-to-back meetings. A lot of modern business trends actually increase distraction and utterly destroy our ability to focus. We've literally replaced actual productivity with the mere appearance of busyness, which just constantly pushes us toward the shallow end of the pool. All right, Section 3, Training your brain. Here's the thing. You can't just expect to magically concentrate if your brain is currently addicted to constant novelty. You actually have to train your brain just like a muscle. And you do that by learning to embrace boredom. This means actively scheduling your internet use in advance and avoiding it entirely at all other times so you can practice working with deep intensity. You can even try some extreme mental workouts, like doing productive meditation on complex problems while you go for a walk, or, get this, attempting to memorize an entire deck of cards. It's all about teaching your brain how to just hold focus. And this mental training builds directly into Rule 3, which is a tough one for a lot of us. Quit social media. These platforms are literally designed to hijack your attention and aggressively derail your top priorities. The source material takes a very strict stance here. It suggests doing a ruthless cost-benefit analysis on your internet use. Stop just browsing for default entertainment. If a social media platform isn't providing a massive, irreplaceable benefit to your core life goals, well, you need to drop it to protect your attention span. Which brings us to Section 4, Changing your habits. So Rule 1 is to work deeply. But listen, you absolutely cannot rely on willpower alone to get into a deep work state. Willpower drains way too fast. You have to actively develop routines and rituals. This means explicitly deciding on a schedule and building very specific rituals around where you work and exactly how you start. You might even make what they call grand gestures, like, booking a remote cabin in the woods or a hotel room for a weekend just to completely immerse yourself in finishing a big project. Build an execution process, and explicitly, this is crucial, build in time for rest. To protect your time, you've got what they call drain the shallows. Try scheduling your activities down to the actual minute, giving literally every block of your day a specific job. Continuously assess the depth of your tasks so you can minimize the shallow ones. There's actually a really fascinating tip from the source material here. Try asking your boss for a shallow work budget, like a strict cap on the hours you spend on non-essential tasks. Finally, set a hard stop. Make yourself less available and finish work by, say, 5:30 p.m., so your brain can actually shut down and recover. And our final section, Section 5, A Meaningful Life. Deep work isn't just about cranking out more output. It's intrinsically satisfying. Notice how intense focus can take a tangled, stressful mess of shallow distractions and turn it into something structured and clear. If you spend your entire day on fragmented, tiny tasks, your life is going to feel fragmented. But the very process of attending deeply to a single task is inherently rewarding. Philosophically speaking, committing to deep work dramatically increases the actual meaningfulness of whatever job you happen to be doing. I absolutely love this summary quote from the text. A commitment to deep work is a pragmatic recognition that the ability to concentrate is a skill that gets valuable things done. It's not magic, right? It's highly pragmatic. Cultivating your focus isn't just some trendy self-help life hack. It is the absolute foundation of creating lasting value in the modern world. I'm going to leave you with this final, really powerful thought from our explainer today. A deep life is a good life. Knowing what we know now about the incredible rarity and the massive value of intense focus, what shallow habits are you going to completely eliminate today so you can reclaim your attention? Seriously, ask yourself, are you ready to trade the illusion of busyness for the deep focus required to truly thrive?